Hi, welcome to the daily analysis with volume profile price action auction theory of different instruments. Today is February 6th, and let's start with Dow Jones. Well, Dow Jones, the price has broken the value area low of last week, and the first target was really the final of VWAP line, and now the price is recovering. So what are the targets for today? The lower targets, the first one is very clear, is this price action zone, this point where the price has rebounded. It's exactly on this VWAP, old VWAP line, final VWAP line, weekly VWAP at 33,609. Below this point, we have this price action zone about 33,503. In between, there is a daily naked VPOC at 33,527. About higher targets, first one, the most important, once we break the value area low of last week, we could go to fill this gap, this opening week gap, about 33,951, and very close is the final of the weekly VWAP at 33,986. Okay, then the higher target will be this price action zone, the maximum of last week. About S&P, well, S&P, we have here an uptrend. We can draw it touching the most important points, including this one. We could redraw again taking this point, but let's see what happens respecting this point. Okay, as lower targets, we are very close to a price action zone. It was a maximum of 2 weeks ago, so it's a very important point. Here there was a final of weekly VWAP of last week. We have touched this, so it's a zone of decision, final of VWAP and price action zone. Next decision zone, talking about lower targets, will be this uptrend line. And what would be the targets? First one, this old daily VPOC at 4,089. Next one, this high volume node and naked daily VPOC 4,078, and the most important for me, this high volume node at 4,069. Talking about higher targets, the most important is filling this gap, this opening week gap, and weekly and daily naked VPOCs about 4,146. The highest one would be this price action zone, the maximum of Thursday and Friday of last week. Let's see Nasdaq. Well, Nasdaq, talking about higher targets, closing the opening gap would be the most important, 12,620. Next one would be this weekly naked VPOC. Let's mark it with an ellipse, and this price action zone between 12,874 and 941. About lower targets, the first most important would be this final of VWAP, weekly VWAP line. It's about 12,401. Next one would be this all maximum of the week, about 12,297.99. And the most important will be this high volume node with a daily naked VPOC at 12,000 1127. About light oil. Light oil, there are several targets. Talking about lower targets, the main would be this point. This point is the minimum of the January the 5th. It's a hard support, and if it breaks this zone, it could go to the next point, the price action zone about 70 and 63. Talking about higher targets, first one, all weekly VPOC about 74.88. Next one, once we break this value area low of last week, could be this high volume node about 75.86, and the most important will be this weekly naked VPOC exactly at 76.44. Then we have the final of weekly VWAP at 77 and 6. Okay, let's see. Gold, we have here a very clear lower target. Once the price has touched it, here is a typical rebound, but let's see what could happen if the price drops. Next step will be this little high volume node at daily naked VPOC at 1867. Okay, this zone, and next one would be this point, weekly naked VPOC at 1844. Talking about higher targets, first one, this all weekly VPOC at 1911. Next one, weekly VWAP line, the final, at 1932. And the last one, this naked weekly VPOC of last week at 1941. And now the last instrument is DAX. DAX, as it happens with USA indexes, we have this gap, this opening gap is the first higher target between 15,453 to 15,471. The last one would be the maximum of last week, the price action zone, the resistance 15,577. About lower targets, first one is very close. We have touched this high volume node. Okay, next step would be this final of VWAP line 15,305, and the main target, if the price drops along this low volume zone, it can easily go to this high density point, high density volume point, this weekly VPOC, weekly naked VPOC at 15,173. Okay, that's all. Good luck and see you tomorrow. Bye.